Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and today we will be looking at how the Formula 2 grid will be lining up for their first race in a couple of weeks' time. Just a bit less than a couple of weeks actually. Some interesting changes with last year's champion Nyck de Vries leaving to join Mercedes in Formula E, and runner-up Nicholas Latifi making it into the holy land of motorsport with Williams in Formula 1. But what about those that have been left behind and the ones on their way up? How will they fare this year? So please remember to leave your thoughts down below, subscribe if you wouldn't mind, and be open-minded because who knows, anyone on this grid could end the year champion and on the radar of a Formula 1 team. With that said, let's begin. We will start with the team's champions and work our way down. So first up on the chopping block, our French team, Dams. A completely new lineup for this team with the aforementioned Nicholas Latifi now in Formula 1 and Sergio Setti Camara leaving to possibly race for Carlin in IndyCar, although I don't believe anything has been announced yet. So replacing two experienced, talented drivers is difficult, but Dan Ticktum is a good shout. The Williams test driver will have something to prove, but joining him will be Sean Galil, an Indonesian driver who has been racing at this level since 2015, and I have no idea how he keeps getting work. He has been on the podium twice in 5 years and has finished no better than 15th. This man has tested an F1 car. People want him to race for them. This is madness, and Dams won't be repeating the success of last year. I expect good things from Dan Ticktum, not so much from Sean Galil. Uni-virtuoso have retained Chinese driver Guan Yu Zhou for another year. He looked good at times, average the rest of the time, but a smattering of podiums make him an interesting prospect for the future, and I think one day he will be the first Chinese F1 driver. Joining him will be Callum Ilott, another capable driver who struggled with the Charouz team last year to maintain a high standard. This team will help him stay further up the field, and uni-virtuoso will be alright in 2020. Expect a couple of wins from this team. It shows you how bad a season Nikita Mazepin had in 2019 that teammate Nyck de Vries won the series by over 50 points, but ART only managed to finish third in the team's championship. No wonder he was sacked off, so a whole new lineup for ART Grand Prix, and two of the best youngsters from Formula 3 joined the team. Runner-up Marcus Armstrong and Renault-backed driver Christian Lundgaard. All three of Prema's drivers from Formula 3 last year are now in Formula 2 with different teams, but Armstrong impressed greatly. Lundgaard struggled against the might of Prema in Formula 3, but took a victory and some good results on his way to 6th. This is a very good lineup for ART, maybe lacking in experience, but more than make up for it in talent. Last year, Carlin had a fairly experienced lineup with Delatraz and Matsushita taking the reins. Matsushita even won 2 races, but this year they have gone for 2 youngsters fresh from Formula 3 as well, with Yuki Tsunoda and Johan Daruvala. The Japanese driver is a spectacular driver to watch, pulling off great overtakes regularly, and backed by Honda, he's moved up quickly. Despite struggling at times in the midfield of Formula 3, he did take a single win though. Indian driver Daruvala lost second place in the overall standings to teammate Marcus Armstrong and was third of the Prema trio, but he is another good consistent driver and Carlin can have high hopes for 2020. Campos have made a good decision in retaining Jack Aitken for 2020. He was one of the best drivers in the field and ended the year in 5th. If he can improve on that, he will be a title contender. His host of teammates though have not been retained by the team, and instead Brazilian Guilherme Samaia has been drafted in, the only driver in the field who I've never heard of, which is a sign I'm watching far too much motorsport and need to get out and have a life. Remember to subscribe. So yeah, good old Guilherme. Well, he finished 6th in Euro Formula once, so there's that. I don't know, he's a bit of a random choice. Next team. Charouz Racing System had a pretty tough year last year, and sadly, Juan Manuel Correa still hasn't recovered from that horror crash at Spa, and with Callum Ilott leaving for uni-virtuoso, and Matevos Isakian being kinda naff, a new lineup was necessary for Charouz, and experienced runner Luis Delatraz has joined the team from Carlin, bringing his consistency, although still looking for that first win, and he'll be joined by Brazilian Pedro Piquet, who did well in Formula 3 last year, although he didn't half crash a lot. That seems to run in the family for some reason, but nonetheless he has enough promise to impress in 2020. Dutch team MP Motorsport Would have expected more from Jordan King in 2019, but he struggled in the midfield and leaves the team, as does Dutchman Mahavir Raghunathan, who was frankly awful and probably won't be missed. In their place, the considerable talents of Nobuharu Matsushita and Brazilian Felipe Drugovich, who has won several championships, including the 2018 European Open Formula Series, but last year in Formula 3 struggled near the back with Carlin, only scoring 8 points all year. He's a bit shaky, and this is a big step up for the young Brazilian, whilst Matsushita knows to score and can lead the team, hopefully teaching Drugovich a thing or two. HWA Racelab are replacing Arden on the grid after sharing a technical relationship with them in 2019. Artem Markelov remains with the team after replacing Antoine Hubert at the end of last year after the latter's untimely passing. Markelov is an experienced driver at this level and will do fine for the team, and with Tatiana Calderon, a driver who has never done anything impressive at this level sadly, also gone, he'll be joined by Frenchman Giuliano Alesi, who struggled with Trident last year but will be hoping for better this term. A new start for a team that desperately needs it. I have no idea how well they're going to do in 2020. Prima are a hard team to place. In Formula 3 they dominated last year, but they struggled to find their feet in Formula 2. They've done good business getting shot of Sean Galil, who as I mentioned earlier is pretty rubbish and out of his depth. They have kept Mick Schumacher, who always looked quick in 2019, but seemed to struggle to finish races. But I consider him a title contender in 2020, and he is joined by Robert Schwartzman, last year's Formula 3 champion, also with Prema. He is a considerable talent, and I think Prema have one of the best lineups in Formula 2 for 2020. Trident are a strange team. They've been around forever but never seem to have much success. I have no idea how they survive. They've lost Alesi to HWA, so have brought in Marino Sato, who won 9 out of 16 Euro Formula Open Championship races on the way to an easy title, but struggled with Carlin in Formula 2. Now Trident are giving him a chance with his first full season, and we will have to see how he gets on. Joining him is Roy Nissany, an Israeli driver who must have a blackmail material and a lot of people to keep getting top drives. He scored a single point for Campos in Formula 2 in 2018, was okay in World Series V8 with a few wins here and there, but is back racing in Formula 2 and is also a Formula 1 test driver for Williams. What is he doing here? And finally, High Tech are joining the Formula 2 grid for the first time, increasing the size of the grid to 22. And they have got 2 experienced drivers at this level. Nikita Mazepan raced for High Tech in Formula 3 in 2016 and 2017, but struggled in his first season in Formula 2, only finishing 11th overall with ART, partnering eventual champion Nick de Vries. But he is joined by Luca Giotto, who finished 3rd for uni-virtuoso last year after scoring 4 wins. He is always consistent at this level, and I can see him being a threat. I'm surprised no Formula 1 team has taken a chance on him, frankly. So that is a look at all the teams in Formula 2 for 2020, a packed out, talented crowd of drivers who'll all be heading for Turn 1 in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm sure it will go very well. My picks for the season, well, Giotto cannot be counted out, Mick Schumacher is another to watch. Jack Aitken is my pick though. I think he looks like a great driver and will take the 2020 crown. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments below, and whilst you're there, subscribe and watch more of the 130 plus videos I have now uploaded. Let's start a community of motorsport fans right here. Thank you for watching and have a good one.